Hey YouTube, Monty53 here, back from vacation. We got back a few days ago, took the kids up to visit family in the Upper Peninsula, my aunt and uncle, and we had a wonderful time. But I missed all of you in the community, in the pipe community. Feels like it's been forever since I've done a video, and it's probably just been over a week. Last night, got to finally participate in Cane Rod's live stream. It's been like 3 weeks since I got to take part in that. We've been doing some camping prior to this vacation. On the weekends, we have our seasonal campsite, and I don't get a really good signal, but I really miss interacting with everybody. So last night it was nice to sit down and have a pipe. My wife was having one of her cigarettes, and we just sat down and just enjoyed the hour and a half of the live stream. It was a great time. But what I'm smoking is Cristiano pipe and some Hearth and Home Black House. Enjoying some coffee in my Sea Smoke mug. Thanks, Eric. It's a beautiful mug. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the beginning with all those photos from our trip. We did a lot of fishing. And my aunt and uncle loved their gifts. They really enjoyed them. And what was really cool was my uncle did share with me yesterday, which was Friday. He ended up getting a Savinelli 673 Romalusite, the Friday Savinelli. And he broke it in yesterday with some Haunted Bookshop, because he too likes Matches 860. So he enjoyed his Friday Savinelli. Yeah, but we had a great time. The bridge that you see in the beginning is the Mackinac Bridge. That bridge separates the lower peninsula of Michigan with the upper peninsula of Michigan. And that photo was, or that video or photo, whatever I shared, was, I can't remember, was done last Friday. And we spent the weekend just enjoying our time. My aunt and uncle were awesome hosts. I love them to death. They, and my cousins too, was great. My children got to play with my cousins' kids, and we all got together, had fun at a lake, had fun at my aunt and uncle's house, played great games. My uncle got a sweet cornhole game as a gift, and it is like professionally made. They had a tournament. It's got the Minnesota Vikings on it. Good team compared to a Lions fan here. Wearing all my blue and stuff, but it was sweet. Just so much fun. My uncle smoked some turkey and chicken, all kinds of great meals. My aunt and uncle really made my kids and I feel welcome, which they always do, especially in the fall when my brother and the guys go up for our bow hunting trips and stuff like that. But that was really the first time my kids did some fishing. And they had a fish fry because we caught a lot of crappie. And one of the photos that was done, we were in these mines. They have some, I believe, iron mines. I think those are iron mines just down the road from Aunt and Uncle's. And what they did years ago was fill these ponds, the mine ponds, with water, and then the DNR stocked them with fish. I mean, there's all kinds, from walleye, there was rock bass, largemouth bass, and crappies, and bluegills. But they have all these different mine ponds throughout this land back there. And basically, you're the only one in these ponds. And there were people that we passed back in the woods and stuff that were just doing some rustic camping and fishing. And we saw some guys out on their kayaks fishing. It was so cool. You were literally out in the wilderness. And the stars. Oh my gosh, my kids actually got scared because living in the city, you only see a few stars. You go out there, you can see the Milky Way, you can see everything, and it kind of intimidated my kids. And we were going to look at that comet that was coming through, but it was too low below the trees, so we weren't able to see it. But I did see some photography done up on Lake Superior where they were able to, oh gosh, with the northern lights and everything, get that comet in the photo. But yeah, my uncle, took us out on his boat, and you got to see some of those photos. And my uncle and I just kept sharing tobaccos and having fun on his front porch. And I got to leave him with, the tobaccos that I gifted him, but some of the other tobaccos that he hasn't had a chance to try. So I gave him some. He had he had a baggie, and I gave him some of the tobacco. So, and he really liked. And this is shout out to Cliff Higgins, that and to Matches as well, 860, the Haunted Pirate Ship. I had a little jar made up. We had that big jar that we're all going to break into in October, but I had a mini jar, and he and I broke into it, and we each shared a bowl. And I got to tell you, that's some good stuff. That was sitting since February, and he ended up, he loved it so much. I just, you want the jar? Finish it up? And he's like, absolutely. So, yeah, that's some good stuff, and we had a really good time. We did go to those rapids, Pierce Gorge or something, Pierce Gorge, I believe, state land, and people do some whitewater rafting down there. And but nobody was on the river at the time. But boy, was it cool, because here in Michigan, it's been in the 90s, 94, 95. Some days humid, some days not. But boy, when we were up there, it was earlier in the 90s. But as we came up, some rain and storms came through. Not the Friday before on the way up, and cooled the area down for at least 5 or 6 days. But I believe this weekend it's going to be back in the 90s, because I believe Sea Smokes, who lives up in the northeastern part of Wisconsin, up near Superior, I think last night he was saying it was in the 90s again. And we were just southeast of him in what's known as, I'm going to say, Iron Mountain, Michigan. My aunt and uncle live about 15 miles from there, and it was in the 70s. They're more towards Lake Michigan side of it, but I guess it warmed up. So we had great weather, great time, and that's it. What's funny is my oldest daughter, she did not only did she not want to come home, she wanted us to pack up this house, grab her mom, because my wife didn't get a chance to go due to her new job, and move up to the Upper Peninsula. So, a little Dr. Evil there. My dream has always been to move to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I am not much of a city guy. I lived in the city now 45 years, and I'm just not much of a city person. I love country. I love to hunt and fish and do all that. In the shooting sports and golf. And the Upper Peninsula of Michigan is so different than the Lower Peninsula, just the way it looks, and the people are so nice. Not that people aren't necessarily nice in the city. I just feel that city people sometimes are more stressed, whereas up there you can be stressed, but you go home and you can at least relax. You don't have to deal with like homeowner associations, neighbors that are that close. You can at least get away, take your boat out or go for a hike, go camping, just out your door and just relax. And my daughter realized that. The hard part would be for me to find a job there, and probably my wife. That's the only thing. But I think my wife Allison's more of a city person than she is in the country, even though she likes to camp. I want a beautiful front covered porch, so I can sit down and have my pipes and my coffee and just let the day just drain away and get ready for the next day. But maybe one day that'll happen, or at least get a cabin or something and we can go vacation. But at least I got my older daughter in on this. So I've recruited one to try to get us to get out of this town. I wish. But that's it. I'm just glad to be back. I missed all of you. And again, I hope you enjoyed those photos. We have this weekend, one of my cousins is getting married in August, so today is a meet and greet. A bunch of families coming out on both sides and all that. We're gonna have a barbecue. It's gonna be in the 94, but I believe there's gonna be, most of it should be indoors, and then you can just go outside if you need to get some air. And then tomorrow is the wedding shower, which I don't have to go to. My wife does. But I'm going to take that time and volunteer at the gun range and be a range safety officer on the rifle range and let some people shoot. But I think we might get some thunderstorms tomorrow, so we'll see how long that range stays open. But that's it. I hope you all had a wonderful week last week. And again, I missed y'all, but I want to make sure you have a great week this week, and you all take care. See you next weekend. Bye.